Hello, friends, and welcome to our pro-life reflections on the readings for the 8th Sunday in Year A. The pro-life connections to today's readings are brought out powerfully and poignantly, as the first reading declares that for a mother to forsake her own child is almost as unimaginable as God forsaking his own people. Almost. Because God knows full well that mothers might and in fact do sometimes forsake their children. Yet he will never forsake us. Because abortion is a forsaking of one's own child, God declares in this passage that such an action reflects the most dramatic form of infidelity of which human beings are capable. The comparison of the mother-child bond to God's own care for us also reflects the fact that God, in giving us life, has also entrusted our lives to the care of one another. This, in fact, is an aspect of being made in the image and likeness of God. It's not just a matter of what each of us is in him or herself. It's a matter of our communion with each other, our self-giving service in love and unity, reflecting the inner unity, the inner life of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, who give themselves completely to one another and cannot possibly be unfaithful to one another. The gospel then gives us one of the causes of human infidelity, including abortion. We worry about how we will be provided for. Isn't this at the core of many temptations to abortion? How will I provide for the child? How will I afford what this child will need? The Lord tells us to stop worrying about such things. Now, that doesn't mean that we aren't to be prudent and make our plans. What it means, however, is that when a child already exists, whether in the womb or outside the womb, we're called to trust in God's care, both for us and for that child. Worrying about tomorrow, anguishing about how to provide for someone, can never be a justification for killing that person. Seek first his kingship over you. In other words, God alone has dominion over human life. Nobody can choose that another one will live or die. Nobody can predict the future or weigh and balance the value of a person's life. Nobody owns anybody else. No nation can negate the personhood of anybody, born or unborn. Seeking God's kingship means we acknowledge his dominion and we trust his providence. That's what fills us with hope. And that hope gives us the courage to say yes to life. Friends, to find pro-life reflections on the readings for all the Sundays of the year, go to preachingonabortion.com, where you can also order my book, Proclaiming the Message of Life.